They met in the most ordinary place, a tuition class. What began with books and homework slowly turned into stolen glances, hidden smiles, and a love that would change their lives forever. This is the unforgettable tale of tuition love. Everyone remembers their first crush, the one that made your heart race, the one that stayed with you long after school days ended. Sometimes love doesn't arrive with grand gestures, it comes quietly, in the most ordinary places. In a small tuition class, two young hearts met, and what started as friendship slowly turned into a love story that would never be forgotten. This is their journey, the story of tuition love. When Arjun heard the word tuition, he imagined boredom stretched across endless hours, long lectures that would blur into the evenings, and strict teachers who measured worth in marks. For him, it was just another battlefield he had to face. He didn't know that tuition would soon become the place where his heart learned something no book could ever teach. The tuition center was small, squeezed between a stationery shop and a bakery. The room was simple wooden benches lined up, a blackboard at the front, and the faint smell of chalk dust lingering in the air. Students of different schools sat together, some whispering, some scribbling, some just waiting for the class to end. Arjun quietly walked to the back bench, his notebook in hand, and sat without looking at anyone. Then it happened. The door creaked, and a girl entered. She carried her books close to her chest, her hair tied in a simple braid, her dupatta tucked neatly, and her eyes scanning the room as if searching for a place to sit. For Arjun, time seemed to pause. She wasn't the kind of girl you'd see in magazines or movies. She wasn't dressed in glamour. Yet there was something about her, something unexplainable that pulled his eyes toward her. Maybe it was her simplicity, maybe the quiet sparkle in her eyes, or maybe just the way she walked into that ordinary room and made it extraordinary. Her name was Meera. She sat a few benches ahead of Arjun, unaware that she had already taken a place in someone's heart. That day, Arjun struggled to focus. Every time the teacher wrote formulas on the board, his eyes wandered to her. He noticed how she tapped her pen while thinking, how she tilted her head slightly when she was confused, and how her lips curved into a small smile whenever she solved a problem. He told himself it was nothing. Just curiosity. Just admiration. But deep inside, he knew it was something more. Days passed. Arjun's routine changed. Tuition, which once felt like a burden, became the highlight of his day. He would reach early just in case he could catch a glimpse of her walking in. Sometimes their eyes met accidentally. She would quickly look away, and he would pretend to scribble in his notebook, though his heart would be racing so fast he could hear it echo in his ears. Those silent moments became his treasure. Then came the day when destiny pushed them closer. The teacher announced a group assignment. Students had to work in pairs, and to Arjun's shock, he was paired with Meera. He felt nervous, his palms sweaty as he walked over to her desk. She looked up, smiled politely, and said, "So, how do we start?" That one simple sentence, spoken with warmth, was enough to make his heart stumble. He stuttered, We can divide the work." She nodded, and just like that, the wall of silence between them cracked open. At first, their conversations were only about studies formulas, chapters, assignments. But slowly, they grew longer. They started sharing jokes, laughing softly during breaks, and exchanging books. Arjun realized she wasn't just beautiful. She was kind, intelligent, and filled with a quiet strength that made him admire her even more. Meera, on the other hand, found in Arjun someone different from the rest. He wasn't loud. He wasn't trying to impress her. He was genuine. And that genuineness drew her closer. Weeks turned into months. Tuition was no longer just a classroom. It was their little world. A place where friendship turned into something unspoken, something deeper. Arjun would sit beside her whenever possible, and sometimes she would save him a seat without saying a word. For others, it might have looked ordinary, but for them, every little gesture carried meaning. Then came a rainy evening. The sky poured heavily, and students rushed home with umbrellas. Arjun had none. As he stood under the tuition center's shade, drenched and uncertain, he saw Meera standing too, clutching her books close, waiting for the rain to stop. He hesitated, then walked closer. She smiled softly and said, "Looks like we're both stuck." They laughed. For the first time, they shared silence that wasn't awkward. The sound of raindrops, the chill in the air, and the nearness of two beating hearts created a moment neither would forget. That evening, Arjun realized what he felt wasn't just admiration. It was love. Pure, innocent, overwhelming love. He wanted to tell her, but fear held him back. What if she didn't feel the same? What if it ruined their friendship? So he kept his feelings buried, letting them live in glances and smiles. But destiny had its own plan. As exams approached, pressure increased. Parents grew stricter, and the tuition teacher became sharper. Rumors spread, two students whispering about how close Arjun and Meera seemed. Fear gripped them both. Then one day, Meera arrived late. Her eyes were red, as if she had been crying. After class, Arjun quietly asked, "Are you okay?" She shook her head and whispered, "My parents, they want me to stop tuition after exams. They think I don't need it anymore." Arjun felt the ground slip beneath him. Tuition wasn't just about studies anymore. It was the thread connecting him to her. Without it, how would he see her? How would he talk to her? That night, he tossed and turned in bed, replaying every moment they had shared. He realized that if he didn't speak now, he might lose her forever. The next day, after class, as students left, Arjun gathered courage. His voice trembled, his heart pounded, but he stopped her at the gate. "Meera," he said softly, "I need to tell you something." She looked at him, puzzled. He took a deep breath. "I don't know if this is right or wrong, and maybe I shouldn't say it. But I can't keep it inside anymore. You are the reason I look forward to tuition every day. You're the reason I try harder, smile more, and believe in myself. I like you. More than just a friend." There was silence. His world hung on her next words. She looked at him, her eyes wide, then slowly, a smile curved on her lips. She whispered, "Do you know how long I've been waiting for you to say that?" Relief and joy washed over him. They didn't hug, they didn't hold hands. They just stood there, smiling at each other, their hearts speaking what words couldn't. In that simple moment, their love became real. After that confession, every moment felt brighter. They still kept their feelings hidden from the world, but within those four walls of tuition, every glance, every smile carried a secret meaning. Exams came and went, life moved forward, but what remained etched in their hearts was the magic of first love, the kind that doesn't need promises, the kind that doesn't ask for forever, but stays unforgettable. Because love isn't always about grand declarations. Sometimes, it's in the silence of shared notes, in the rain-soaked wait under one umbrella, in the courage to confess when everything is at risk. Love doesn't always need promises, rings, or forever. Sometimes, it's hidden in the simplest places, in borrowed notebooks, in stolen glances, in the quiet courage of two hearts. That was Arjun and Meera's tuition love story. A reminder that first love may not last forever, but it never leaves your heart. If this story touched you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more heart-touching romantic tales. Until next time, keep believing in love.